Hi and hello, I am Athena Pondin here. Welcome to the Anatomy for the Biomedical Engineers classroom once again. Today we are going to discuss about the next topic of the skeletal system, that is what is tendon, what is ligament and what is bone marrow. Come, let me start the class now. See, in the skeletal system, bones play a main vital role. If you want to frame a body, the bones need to arrange in a proper manner. If you want to connect the bones in a proper manner, joints play a main vital role. Because the connections made should be in a proper way. Each and every bone have some of the inclination, because we saw already the types of joints. According to the mobility, the joints can be made. So, each and every connections of the human body, skeletal muscle is very important. The skeletal body is very important. So, according to the joints, that is according to the combination, the joints can be classified into two different things. That is, bone and bone connection joint, bone and muscle connection joint. Some of the bones is connected to other bone. Some of the bones is connected to other muscles. These are also considered as the joints. So the bones or bone connections are called as the ligament. They called as the joint as the ligament connection. The bone and the muscle connection they combinedly call as the tendon. Please remember. So most of the tendons and the ligament sections are present in a human body. That is connecting bone and bone. That is connecting bone and muscles. So the requirement is there. Okay. We can able to see this particular tendon connection especially in your shoulder, your elbow and in your knee. Some of the synovial joints, most of the synovial joints are coming under this ligament connections. Because we already studied the synovial joints are an independent bone. They are connecting between the bone and bone connection. They are coming under the, in the synorthrosis, amphiorthrosis, this particular synovial joint is coming under the diarthrosis. Okay, so the diarthrosis, it is freely movable. So bone and bone connection can able to move very freely. So that is why it is present in the knee, it is present in the elbow and it is present in the shoulder. So please remember. Then this tendon connection is a bone and a muscle connection. Some of the bones require the muscle support. Especially your neck. Okay, neck is the best example of the tendon connection. Especially your hip. Hip required some of the tendon connection. So that is the thing required for the movement. So the joints are also made between the bone and bone connection and the bone and the muscle connection. They are called as the tendon and the ligament respectively. So please remember, what is tendon and what is ligament is the connections made between the bone and the bone and muscles. Okay, then. Then, the next thing we are importantly discussed about the bone marrow. See, bone marrow, it is present inside the bone. Of course, we all know that. Especially it is present in some of the bone. That is your ribs. That is in the sternum region, that is the ribs are present. That is a flat bone. Inside the flat bone, inside that particular ribs bone marrow is present. And your hip bone. That is in the pelvic region, the bones are called the hip. That particular bone, inside the bone, there is a bone marrow there. Then your thigh bone, that is especially femur. And your vertebral column. All this bone, insidely, this particular bone is made up of the spongy tissues. That spongy tissues are called as the bone marrow. Please remember. That spongy tissued bone marrow is particularly for secreting red blood corpuscles. Please remember. Especially they are generating red blood corpuscles. There are over 500 billion. Please remember, there are over 500 billion red blood corpuscles are produced per day from the bone marrow. That bone marrow consists of so many stem cells are there. That stem cells are required especially for generating this 500 billion red blood corpuscles. Of course, we know that what is the importance of the red blood corpuscles. It will great affinity towards the oxygen. It will carry oxygen to all over the cells. So that is the main job this particular bone marrow will do. It is a spongy tissue. It is not present in all the bones. I already told you, right? Ribs, vertebral column, your pelvic region, hip bone, and your thigh bone, that is femur. All the thing consists of this bone marrow. This bone marrow is particularly for secreting the red blood corpuscles. So these three things are also important in your skeletal system. That is why I am doing the classes separately. Okay. So what is tendon, what is ligament, and what is bone marrow? So this particular bone marrow, one more information is that the spongy tissued bone marrow transplantation will remove so many diseases because of the presence of the stem cells over there. So many drawbacks of the patients will be removed by the transplantation of the bone marrow to the other persons. So bone marrow play a main vital role. Okay, so this is the thing you need to remember. We just hold this topic today. So please remember, in the skeletal system, structure of skeletal system, what are the bones present in the skeletal system, what are the classifications of bones according to the function, structure, biochemical and biomechanical and anatomical we saw, and what are the joints present and what are the classifications of joints we saw, and the most important thing today, tendon, what is ligament, and what is bone marrow. So this is what we require. Okay, this is what we required regarding the skeletal system. So in the next class, we are going to start the new fresh unit. Okay, that is muscular system. Thank you very much.